Hi, Alyssa.
Hey, Katie.
Welcome to episode 352, When Money is Tight, but you don't want to give up.
Whew. Slippery slope.
I mean, look, the market can be tricky.
Yeah.
And when it's rough, you have to have a plan. And sometimes your plan maybe isn't what you thought your plan was going to be.
Yeah.
So this episode, we're going to do a little bit of some mindset talking. We're going to do a little bit of some practical tips, but things we can do when money is tight, because we have heard several recent stories where agents are struggling.
Yeah.
And that may be you.
Yes. Our episodes are always inspired by y'all.
Right.
What y'all are telling us you need help with.
Yeah.
What we're seeing in our inbox over and over again. What we're seeing in our DMs. What we're seeing in our own market.
Yep.
It's just, it's a lot. And I think that real estate has a way of sucking you in. And when people sometimes stay in maybe even longer than they should.
Right.
And sometimes you just have to make the right call at the right time to do what's best for you and your finances.
Yeah. And I've actually heard of quite a few people who, over the long course of my career, have gone, come back.
Yeah.
Put it on pause.
Yep.
I mean, like in Louisiana, you have an inactive status. That isn't one of our tips, but if you get to the end of this episode and you're like, I've done all this, or I'm not sure. Like when I ask myself all these questions, I feel like I really do need to put it on pause. You don't have to give it up.
No, but I think that people's pride plays a part of it. The desire to keep thinking at any moment the next sale is going to happen.
Yeah.
That it's just around the corner. But it is a dangerous place to operate from when you are so desperate for money and you need that sale. Like if I was someone in the public, I wouldn't want that agent representing me.
Right.
So you just have to check yourself and ask yourself, how am I operating? We just did the Desperate Agents episode.
Yep. That's 346.
346. And we have another one too back in the archive.
Yeah.
Anywho, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And it's not worth getting into true financial distress over it. And this episode is about realizing that it's a business. If the business is not being profitable and it's not looking like it's heading in a good direction,
right,
you might need to make a wise business decision, whatever that looks like for you.
Right. And we're not going to make that decision today.
No, we're not making that decision for you.
Today is about things I can do while keeping my license and money is tight. We did an episode called Should You Renew Your Real Estate License? That was 271. And that's the one that will ask you the hard questions.
Yeah, is it time to let it go?
Yeah, we're not going to do that one today. What we're doing today is hopefully positive, maybe just some ideas.
Yeah.
We're going to do it in this way. I have 15 ideas for when money is tight.
Okay.
All of your stories, I think, fall under one of these.
Okay.
Except maybe Sam, because his is really interesting.
Yeah.
But let's go through the list, and if work your stories in.
Okay.
Does this work for you?
I'm a storyteller.
I know.
You go through the list.
Okay. So these are 15 things to do today if money is tight. Okay. I like the urgency of it. Today. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Number 1, we're going to text 5 people we haven't talked to in a while. Remember last week's episode?
Oh my gosh, what am I going to say?
It's not a sales pitch. It's just a check-in. You're going to be like, hey, what's going on?
Thought about you. Did you ever paint that bedroom?
Right. Did you use the pool a lot this summer, or summer's coming soon? Are you excited about the pool? Is it warming up?
Yeah.
How'd you survive the winter? What are those beautiful flower beds looking like? Like just something house-related would be ideal.
Yeah, not, hey, how are you?
But, hey, how are you is acceptable.
Yeah.
I just want you to talk to people.
Yeah.
If you can make it house-related, great.
I like in Atomic Habits when he's like, you can break the 6-month silent streak with one text.
One text.
When you're like, I haven't talked to that client since we closed. I feel terrible. Break it. Break the streak.
Yeah. Your next deal is probably hiding in a name you've been scrolling past.
Oh.
Little mindset.
You never know.
You never know. Okay, so text to people you haven't talked to in a while. Number 2, audit your business expenses. Okay, let's get our bank statements out. Let's actually look at the recurring charges. Let's look at the paid leads that aren't converting. Let's look at your CRM expenses. If you're not opening it and using it every day, what do you have a website you're paying for monthly that you're not getting leads from? Like, do you have subscriptions you forgot about? Like, what do you got going on? Please just feel free to cancel those things and you can add them back on later if you want.
So episode 40, way 40. Back when, is the bare necessities.
Yeah.
Where we really went through how you don't need all those shiny things to run a business.
No.
Our spreadsheet, our Excel, Google spreadsheet for our CRM costs nothing. You know, like there is plenty of room to trim the fat.
You can run your business on a stack of paper.
Yeah.
I mean, like it doesn't really take a lot.
Yeah.
So a phone and some paper and you can make it happen.
Yes.
Until you have more money again, right?
Right.
Okay. Number 3, get a people job if you need income now.
Okay.
People job.
Do I get to tell a story?
Please.
Erica?
I think you should.
Okay. So we in our Hustle Humbly community just had we do our once a month hangout.
Yeah.
But this past month, we had a bonus live session. If you're in community and missed it, it's in your dashboard. You can go rewatch the recording. But Erica is one of our listeners, and she taught a little class in our database about how she had to move markets.
Yes.
She moved from California to Texas.
Correct.
And she had a good business.
Yeah.
In California.
Yes.
So this was a hard decision.
And knew no one in Texas.
I mean, had to start over completely.
Yeah.
Was humble enough and wise enough to know that having no income for 2 years while she tries to build a business was not really an option.
That wasn't in the plan for her. She couldn't do it.
This was not in the plans. So she humbled herself, and instead of trying to force real estate, she went back to restaurant life. She had managed restaurants
way before real estate.
Real estate. So she brushed off those skills and got a job in Texas as a manager at a restaurant, worked really long hours, but met so many people. Worked that job for several years until she got to where she knew the area. She knew people. And she saw the writing on the wall. She had some savings. And she was like, now's my moment. I am going to go back into real estate. So she took a few years off of real estate to lay the groundwork. To lay the foundation of what you need to know to start a real estate business. You have to know your inventory, your neighborhoods, your locations, your areas, and you have to know people. Without those 2 things, you cannot have a successful real estate business.
It's not going to work.
So she used that to lay the foundation, and now she has a very successful real estate business.
And she grew her business in a lot of different interesting ways. So if you're in community, go rewatch her class. But one of the most, and the first thing she did was like, she didn't say, oh, I'm just going to, dig in, white knuckle it. I'm just going to say I'm a realtor, but not have any sales. And then, she had done that for the first 2 years. She might not still be doing it.
And I think what you just said is what so many people are missing. She didn't just white knuckle it and say, I can do it because I say I can. It's like she had an actual plan.
She came up with a plan.
This is a business.
Right.
You have to have a business plan.
She needed people. She's like, I know where I can find a bunch of people.
It's like if you want to start a new business, you can't just start it. You have to look at the finances. Do you have money? Do you have a location? Like, she did all of that and made the decision she needed to, and now it's going to pay off.
I know. Here are some other people job examples.
Okay.
Restaurant, coffee shop, your favorite, gym.
Oh my gosh. I texted a client the other day. I was like, so I had an appointment at her house at 10 a.m. So I was like, I'm just going to stop and work on my computer at the coffee shop before I go to her house because I was just killing time. So I texted her and I was like, hey, I'm working at CC's before I come to your house. Do you want any coffee? And she was like,
she thought you were
working at CC's. Katie, she was so strange, like when I got to her house. And I was like, is something wrong? And she was like, I thought you were like full-time. And I was like, I am full-time. She was like, but you were working at the coffee shop? And I was like, oh my gosh, on my computer.
How many times have you said that and people thought you were working?
No, and I say that, so I do that a lot, and I always offer to bring them coffee before I go. So I can't tell you how many times I've sent the text, I'm working at Starbucks before I head your way. Do you want anything? I never thought about it that way.
And they didn't fire you.
No. Now, this one was the only one that was like, oh, geez, times are tough.
So maybe next time, I'm doing some computer work at the coffee shop.
Oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed.
But look, that's the terrible lead in because I don't want people to be embarrassed that they had to pick up a job at the coffee shop. You were embarrassed because it wasn't what you meant.
No, right.
But if you have to work at the coffee shop, we're not going to be embarrassed.
You don't have to be embarrassed, but I will tell you, remember the whole reason I got out of the service industry?
Tell them.
When I started, Connie asked me, how much money do you have in savings? Are you prepared to go your first year without a paycheck? Do you have parents supporting you? Do you have a spouse? Like, what's your situation? Because real estate's really hard.
Right.
And she was the first broker that said that.
Yeah.
Everybody else was telling me how rich I was going to be. Yeah. So I knew after talking to Connie that I needed to get to X amount in my savings.
Right.
And that was going to require me to bartend a little bit longer than I thought. At the time, I was working for this company where you went to private events as a bartender. So if you were hosting a shower at your house and needed a bartender, you could call and like rent me, basically. And so I had been called to do an event at LSU Tiger Stadium. And I was like 5 months into real estate. And I was really hustling in real estate.
Yeah.
Like open houses every Sunday. I don't know. I don't know if I slept during this time. But I had done an open house and I had been staying in the same area and it was a nice house. And I got my first open house lead.
Okay.
That would return my calls.
Yeah, they're like, we'll work with you.
Yeah, real person. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got my first client from an open house and his budget was like $700,000.
This is great.
Oh, I was so excited. So I've shown them houses and, they're a wealthy couple. They're being so kind to me. I'm just working as hard as I can for them. Well, I am bartending this event in LSU Stadium and I look up and the man is there as like an attendee of the event. And I'm like, oh gosh, I just felt very uncomfortable. Like, oh no, but I there was no avoiding it. So I just tried to own it. I said, hi, I'm so happy to see you here. And he's like, oh, do you work here? And I was like, yes, I do. I do bartend certain private events, try to make it sound fancy and stuff. But he was just so like, oh, okay, well, great. Never returned a phone call after that. I had been showing them houses. Yeah. And I just knew people want a professional. And I lost a client because of it. So I think that there are, like how Erica, she was working in the restaurant industry to build her book of business.
Yeah, she wasn't doing both at the same time.
I think if a client sees you at another job,
just be prepared.
Be prepared. Because I went through it personally. Now, we do have, and you may have this in your list, a whole episode on real estate related side hustles.
Yes, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay, but so the people jobs, restaurant, coffee shop, gym, front desk, retail. Where are you seeing a lot of people in and out? Anything kind of customer servicey.
Yeah.
Those are your people jobs. Look, if you're not making any money in real estate, if you don't have any clients, you're technically unemployed.
Yeah, you're unemployed.
So don't take these stories to be like, oh, Alyssa's talking about she already had these clients.
Yeah.
So it sort of sabotaged her staying in maybe a scotch too long.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a good tip. You'll know when to get out.
You'll know. I knew. And I had to make it work.
Okay. This next one will play right into this. Pick up gig work without an ounce of shame. No one's going to have shame here. DoorDash, Instacart, TaskRabbit, pet sitting, Uber, whatever. What's nice is that you can make those fit your schedule.
Yeah.
So it's different than going to work, all day long at a retail shop. Like this is like, oh, I'm going to turn on Uber.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Uber for a few hours.
Yeah.
I'm not required to do it any certain amount of time.
I use the Shipped app for my groceries.
Yes.
And I have like 3 regular Shipped shoppers that I love. Brandy, Jennifer, and Kyle.
Did you work with one of them?
I sold Brandy's daughter a house.
Exactly.
Yeah. But and that was sort of the opposite, right?
But it could go either way.
But it could go either way.
You become friends with them and be like, yeah, I'm just picking up some shifts while the market's tough.
Yeah. Do you need to buy a house?
They'll
Some
be
people
like,
are super kind and want to help you.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Do we want to, we're on.
Well, I did have someone in my office who was struggling and needed money, like legit needed money.
Like cash. I need cash.
And, there's only so much you can really do, but she ended up door dashing and just making it work and fitting it in her schedule between whenever she can. And I haven't looked into what those services pay and what they're like, but I like that you can turn it on and off and perhaps work around a schedule that fits you. It's not a 9 to 5.
No, you do whatever you want. Weird hours, late night, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched this movie called Good Fortune.
Okay.
With Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari.
Okay.
Okay. And one of them is, it's so funny and odd. But Keanu is an angel, and he wants to help people.
Okay.
Okay. His current guardian angel role is to keep people from texting and driving.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like it.
But he wants something more meaningful. So he finds this guy who's kind of working in the gig economy. They're in California, and he's barely making ends meet, but he's doing like TaskRabbit and, Instacart. He's like picking stuff up for people and whatever. Well, one of his TaskRabbits takes him to Seth Rogen's house, who's this big, like, fancy venture capital guy in this big fancy house, and he goes there to organize his garage. Okay, that's his weird task.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, the story gets kind of crazy. I do think it was funny. You should totally watch it. But the crazy thing was, he was doing these gigs, and it would be like he's standing in line for these very famous cinnamon rolls, and like the line is 30 people deep, and he's like trying to hurry because he's got to do more gigs to make the money, right?
Yes.
And he's like, oh, waiting. And then all of a sudden, the baker comes down like, we're sold out for the day. And he's like, oh. And then he has to tell the person, I couldn't get your cinnamon rolls. And then he's like, but please don't give me a bad review. Right. It's not my fault. I need the gigs. And it was just, the whole thing was so funny.
Please.
But my point in telling the story is that this is so common now.
Yes.
People doing these little gig things
Side
is
jobs.
super, super common.
Because money's tight even outside of real estate.
For people in all fields.
All the people.
Okay?
Money's tight.
So just don't feel embarrassed. We're not going to have any shame. We're going to do what we got to do to put food on the table.
Yeah.
And we're just going to get out there. We're not going to stay at home depressed in our pajamas. We're going to make something happen because action, remember what I believe James Clear says, action cures anxiety.
Yes.
Any action will do.
I like that.
Any action. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing we're going to do. Sort our database by last contact. And then anyone we haven't talked to in 90 days is going to get a call, a text, a note. Handwritten note, people.
A comment on their last Facebook post saying, hey,
something.
Love seeing how good you're doing. Can't believe how cute your dog is.
Anything. You got time.
Because when you comment on them, it says, Alyssa's here.
I'm here. Hi. Still around.
Hi.
Right? Okay. Next up, host one free small event in the next 30 days. The ideas here were like a meetup at a coffee shop, but I don't want to host anything that implies I'm going to spend money on you.
Yeah.
Like a meetup with like neighborhood people at the park, that kind of stuff makes sense. But anything that's putting you in a room with people.
Yeah.
You could host game night at your house and just have some neighbors over.
Yeah. Host a book club.
Hey, host a book club.
Yeah.
Anything where you're around people. Okay. This is so important. Number 7, know your real number. Write down your actual monthly expenses, personal and business, and then you make a plan. You can't plan to survive if you don't even know what you need.
So this weekend, I had a neighborhood open house, me and 2 other agents. It's a small neighborhood. It's a very nice luxury neighborhood. But me and 2 other agents have a listing.
Okay.
So the 3 of us did an open house, and then we went and saw each other's houses because we wanted to see. But one of the agents has been in the business a long time, and we were talking about the market and how it's kind of hard right now. And he said that he hasn't been this slow since 2009. And I asked him what it was like in 2009 because I wasn't here. And he said, well, I went 4 months without a closing. And I had been fairly regular leading up to that. And it shook me. He said, it reminded me that I need to keep 6 months expenses in my bank account at all times at a minimum.
Yeah.
He said, I had kind of started off that way, but then you get comfortable and you kind of relax.
Everything's consistent.
And you kind of let that get a little low. He said, since 2009,
never.
I have 6 months aside.
Good for him.
And I don't touch it.
Yeah.
I don't touch it until, and he was like, this is the first year I've actually thought I might have to touch it.
For what it's for.
But that's what it's there for. And he was like, and I can breathe and I can sleep at night because I know it's there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to touch it, but it's there if I need it.
Yeah.
And I thought that's so interesting that scare from 17 years ago has stuck with him all this time.
Right.
Because he knew what it was like to have a paycheck to 4 months with no paycheck at all.
Yeah.
So, but you can only do that if you know what that number is.
You gotta know.
I remember when Connie made me figure out what that number was, and it stressed me out so much.
Your enough number?
It was kind of like when you try to track everything in the calorie app and you really don't want to put the full extent of what it really was.
I know I had 3 Hershey Kisses.
Yeah. You don't want to put it all in there, but you do. But it takes some humbling, to be honest.
This is the hardest thing probably to look at if you're stressed. Because you're going to be like, I can't even. I'm just going to ignore it. But again, action cures anxiety.
You got to do it.
Just do it.
Hey, it's a business.
Got to do it. We have to pay our bills. Okay. Next up, stop hiding behind content creation.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine. If you're spending hours, though, on this and you're not doing all the other things on the list, says no, we need a real conversation with real people. Okay? So just stop.
Social media and other things can give you such a false sense that you really think you're working.
Yeah.
But
you're not.
You're not actually really working.
Okay, next up, ask a past client for a referral directly, and I have a great script for you.
Okay.
Like what to type in your text or your email or whatever. We're not doing this in a weird way.
No weirdness.
Okay, try this. I'm growing my business this year and would love to help anyone you know who's thinking about buying or selling. You're the first person I thought of because I loved working with you.
Oh, I love that. You're the first person I thought of because I love working with you.
Yes.
That's so good.
So good.
Because you're like asking and complimenting.
Yeah.
And it's true. You're going to message the people that you enjoyed working with.
Even if they don't want to or don't have someone, they're going to be like, you loved working with me. Then when they hear someone, they will.
I also feel like that is such a great way to reach out to past clients who you may not have talked to them in 3 years.
Right.
But they get a message like that and they go, she remembers me.
She loved working with me.
She loved working with me. I loved working with her too. And I was really sad I haven't heard from her in 3 years. But now I know she loved me the whole time.
I'm going to add this to our prospecting templates.
Yes.
Which for the record you get when you join community. So 1 month of community is $25. You don't have to stay in and you get all of the prospecting templates. Okay. So I'm going to say it one more time though. I'm growing my business this year and would love to help anyone you know who's been thinking about buying or selling. You're the first person I thought of because I loved working with you.
Katy.
My God, it's so good.
Wow.
I know.
And it's so easy to say.
Even if you just do this, I'm giving you 15 things to do.
Do that one.
All this action.
That's my favorite one.
Giving you so much action. Okay, number 10. Partner with a local business for cross-promotion, a lender, home inspector, moving company, any, like local boutique. Offer a feat to feature them on your social media in exchange for them doing the same. co-post. Love a co-post.
Yeah.
But, just help promote another business that maybe is also the economy is the economy for everyone, right? It's hard for a lot of people, not just you. Think about it this way. My dad always said, the housing market really drives the economy, not just because of people buying houses, but it's the inspector and the appraiser and the handyman and the roofer and everyone that is involved in a house. When painters, if you go ask your painter, are you busy right now? If you're not busy, they're usually not busy.
Right. Yeah.
So everyone in your kind of sphere of vendors could be struggling right now. So find a way to be like, hey, I'd love to send out a coupon for your services to my database.
Yeah.
Maybe you can also feature me and whatever. So I like that one.
You could also, if a lender is open to doing the coffee shop thing with you.
Yeah.
Just each putting up a little bit to have a coffee tab and teach a little first-time homebuyer class or something. That'd be so inexpensive to share with someone.
For sure. Okay, next up, go to an open house this weekend. You do it or you attend one. Just be in a house.
Be in a house. I think if you are struggling, at a minimum, you need to be in an open house.
If you don't have the time to host someone's house open, even if you don't have a listing, then you're not putting enough effort into it.
No.
If you're like,
minimum.
I have no clients, no money, and I don't want to do an open house, I don't know.
Because if you host an open house, that gets you content.
Yeah.
It puts you in front of real life people. It shows that you are working in real estate, gives you credibility.
All right, so you just did an open house.
Yeah.
How many did people come through?
Yes, I had 12 different groups come through.
I've noticed you do quite a few open houses this year, 2026.
This year, yes.
Are you finding they all have people come through?
Yes.
So there you go.
I think it's because of a few reasons.
Let's hear it.
I think that with the BBA being required, maybe the people who are just lookers,
non-committal,
they can't just call and see a house anymore.
Yeah.
Because now they have to sign a buyer rep agreement. So they're like, I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But then they go to the open house that doesn't require that, and they meet a really nice, friendly agent like myself.
Professional, working.
And they go, wow, she was so relatable and not pushy. I think I would just like to work with her. And that's been happening.
Yeah.
And so you're in front of people, you're learning what to say, you're practicing on strangers, getting confident with the questions that they ask, all the things.
Yeah.
So when you have nothing going on, it cannot hurt you.
It cannot hurt
Then you get to advertise it on your social media, which shows you're working. So all these things are good.
Yeah.
All these things.
Okay, next up, here. Revisit episode 198 on the real estate side hustles. In this episode, we don't just talk about any side hustle. We give you all the best ideas for something that keeps you in the real estate frame of mind. Something real estate adjacent.
If I could make the money I make now, my other dream job,
let's hear
besides being a barista, would be being a personal assistant.
Oh.
Because I love to get things done. And to
check
just
off the list.
Check off the list. Go above and beyond. You asked me to do this, but I did this and this. And
oh my God.
I like to just do.
Enneagram 3.
I know. But I'm
check off the list.
If I was brand new again, and I did do this when I was new, but I didn't charge money for it. But I was going around can I go put a lockbox on for you? I can also put your sign up. Do you want me to meet the termite guy? I can then scan the WDIR to you. Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? Are you want me to hold your house open? I loved just finding things to do. And I promise you, especially if you're in a big office, they would love to pay you to do something.
Yeah, do a lot of things.
They would love to pay you.
Right. Yep. Okay, I love that. All right, let's go with number 13. Set a 90-day minimum viable goal. Okay, not your dream income level.
No.
What do you need to close in the next 90 days to keep going? And then we're going to work backward from that number. I think it's helpful. We can't. And also, as someone who is a fan of visualization, manifestation, I think it is helpful to be like, I am closing 2 deals before the end of this 90 days. You don't know where they're coming from yet. It doesn't matter. I think you have to at least identify, not, I'm going to sell 30 houses.
No.
No.
Right.
I need to close 1.
Right.
2, whatever it is.
I'm going to find one.
I'm
going to make it happen.
I'm going to start working with 2 buyers this week. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
And I'm going to get them from open houses. I'm not going to give up.
You never know when a buyer is going to call you.
You don't.
Or a seller. You never know. You never know. Okay, next up, find your people. This is more about, we don't want you to feel alone. So if you're in this season where things are hard, a place like our community, or maybe you're in another real estate Facebook group that's positive, or your office environment, spend some more time there. Just find your people, spend some time in community with other agents where you're like, okay, it's hard for everyone right now. Or look how great they're doing. Maybe I want to just be around someone who's having some success. Like,
when you're in a funk, being around other people in a funk is not going to help you.
No.
Like, you really have to mind your mindset extra hard when you're in a tough spot. And nothing aggravates me more. And I've been in a few of these and left quickly, where I was invited to join a mastermind or an accountability group where they would get together once a month and just laugh about how they didn't do the homework.
Yeah.
That's not something I want to be a part of for my business.
Not at all.
So make sure you are hanging out with like-minded business people.
Yeah.
What do they say? You become like the top 5 people you hang out with.
You are like the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yes. So who are you hanging out with?
Right.
What are they? Are they making excuses?
Yeah.
Are they complaining?
Right.
Are they always venting?
Right.
Do you listen to us every Monday and maybe you'll become more like us?
Right. We're very positive.
We're here to help. We're here to help.
Okay. I want you to tell us this story before I give you the last one as a final thought. That's our last story.
So this one was tricky. So this one was about an agent who also moved markets, different states.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they were wrong.
No, but it's a tricky thing to navigate. And it's one of those things where you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this episode is about, is knowing when to let things go, when it's not working.
Gotta make some tough decisions.
So he was still trying to tie up loose ends in his old market while trying to get roots and figure out his new market.
Almost as if he was like, I'm in my new market, saying he was working his new market, but he wasn't really working his new market. He was getting on a plane and going back to the old market.
He was flying back and forth to tie up leads from his old market.
Yeah.
But the attention was there. And just when you say, this is going to be my last one, you get one more lead. And it's hard because being in the new location, there's no leads there.
Yeah, it keeps you from looking for or doing the activities that would bring the business in the new place.
And sometimes, so our advice to this listener was, we have to cut ties in the old market.
Yeah, so refer.
Yes, you need to refer it out, collect that referral fee, and find a way. You are now here.
Yeah.
You need to make it work here, where you are, because what you're doing isn't sustainable.
No.
And you're not going to break into your new market if you're constantly going back to the other market where you're no longer supposed to be working.
What you focus on grows.
Right.
If you're focused on the old market, that business is still up and running. It could be getting more leads.
And it's so hard because agents want immediate.
Yeah, it's really tough if you're new, if you're in a new market, like to just, okay, today I'm licensed. Today I'm in my new market. Let's just hit the ground running.
Right.
Well, okay. But if you don't know anyone, if you don't have any like business momentum, it's tough.
Right.
But you have to take little actions.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, this is more of a mindset shift. Remember that surviving a hard market is a credential. If you can make it through this, in 5 years, you're going to be like, well, I can get through anything.
Yeah.
I just have to get through this tough time. You're not alone. That's the thing. It's not just the market's the market. And if you can make it through, find a way, don't give up. Because I think that was the point. A lot of the people we were talking to were like, money's tight, but we don't want to give up. But practically and logistically, you have to make money.
And it has this is a business. You have to think of it like a business, and you have to run it like a business, and you have to look at your finances, and you have to deal with them.
Right.
They're not going to go away by not looking at them.
No.
And if you do face them, you may be able to save them.
Yeah.
And come up with a plan.
For sure.
But if you're just avoiding, it's going to be a tough spot.
Yeah. Agreed.
This was good.
I think it's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Last week was important information on not being a secret agent. It really goes hand in hand with this.
Yeah. If you missed last week, there's so many good ideas in there.
Yeah.
So go back tonight and listen to it again.
Right.
Such a good episode.
Because just getting your license and putting realtor on your email signature, does that mean you're working?
Right.
Like, there are steps you can take.
Yes.
We're not just sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Action. It's all about action. Okay. Anything else? You're good?
I'm good.
Okay. Good luck, y'all.
Yeah, y'all got this.
Okay. Bye.
Wait, before you go, if you enjoyed this episode and if we brought you value, take a minute to rate the show, leave a review, or drop a comment.
We are giving away our best stuff for free. Find it at hustlehumblypodcast.com/freebies.
We'd also love to see you in Hustle Humbly community. Join us there at hustlehumblypodcast.com/membership.
We love chatting with you in our DMs. Find us on social media at Hustle Humbly Podcast and say hello.
If you have an episode topic or someone you'd like to toast on the show, please email us at team@hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly Podcast. See you next week.